All right. Okay, Wendy, thank you. I think I have some people I'm going to just mute. So I think what I'm going to do is not go back to the slideshow because I don't know if that's creating the problem, but I want to respect everyone's time and just get through this last portion so we can dive into the breath work. So the final step that I was speaking about is being with your pain. So I think that I've said this like 5 times, so hopefully you guys, this isn't a repeat. But basically, it keeps telling me my internet is unstable for some reason. Try this. Okay. So step 3 is really around embracing your pain, because feeling into our pain is part of what makes us human, and it's how we become whole. So when we're not embracing our pain and acknowledging our fears and all of the things that are really holding us back from living the lives that we want, we create big separation within ourselves. So feeling pain is just a part of being human. It can lead to immense growth if we allow it to. But because so many of us create these walls and these defenses, they keep us really unconscious, and they keep us from experiencing true intimacy, true love, and what it really means to love ourselves. So when we don't accept our pain, it unconsciously drives us. We actually live from our pain. It's actually coming through us. It's holding us back in certain ways, well, in many ways. But the thing is that every negative thing that you can really think of, from anger to violence, all of that stems from pain. And, you know, what is the thing that heals pain? It's love. So I want you all to close your eyes. We're going to do a really brief exercise. Just want you to visualize, close your eyes, and just visualize yourself as a baby. You're pure. You just came out of your mother's womb. You know nothing but love. And as you start to grow, you become influenced by the people and circumstances around you. So something happens when you're young and you get scared. Maybe your mom forgets to pick you up from school one day and then you feel abandoned. Or maybe your dad yells at your mom with such rage that you fear for your own safety or your mother's safety. Suddenly, you're no longer living in this vibrating bubble of love. You've now experienced fear and maybe pain. At some point, something happens that feels so painful to you that you do whatever you can to cope with it. And now this is the way that you cope with pain and fear. And it's unconscious because you're young and you're just doing what your system is telling you to do to find safety. And that becomes a habit. It's something that you do so often that it becomes your normal. This is what happens to every single one of us. This is how our pain is created. So this is your takeaway tip for this section. Your pain has a purpose. So your pain is wise. It's a signpost to a deeper truth. It comes from the core wound, that place that first occurred in that vision in childhood. It might be irrational fear. It might be irrational fear, but it doesn't matter. That child is still alive within you, that little boy or that little girl that was hurt when you were really young. And it's a part of you that needs love more than anything. It's the part of you that surfaces when you're afraid. It could be a big fear. It could be really little fear. So there was something that you needed as a child that you didn't get, and acknowledging that and giving yourself love is really, really important. So we're coming to the end of this section. I'm going to leave you with this. Self-love is a choice. So this is essentially a shift in consciousness. It's about making the choice to see that life is inherently whole. You have a choice. You can choose to focus on all of the problems, or you can choose love. You can choose to embrace all of yourself and give yourself love, or you can choose to keep compartmentalizing. And remember, you know, one of my teachers often says, where attention goes, energy flows. So where you place your attention says a lot about what shows up in your life, where you're using your energy. So you can choose to align with the belief that love is outside your reach, or you can show up to do the work. And it's really that simple. And, one thing that I like to think about is this truth that you already know the truth. All of the energy you're expending trying to be your idolized self is actually a waste, because you don't need to prove to anybody or to yourself that you're worthy, because you already know that you are. There's this part of you that's connected to everyone and everything, and that part of you is already whole and already knows the truth. That's the place we want to connect to more, and this is why we're going to be doing breath work. That's step 4, and it's really around allowing and opening up into that. So we're going to move into the breathwork portion, and then we're going to have an opportunity for Q&A at the end. So if you have the playlist, you're going to go ahead and press play on your playlist. Just start that now. And then go ahead and lie down somewhere comfortable and just adjust the volume so you can hear me speaking clearly, louder than the music. And if you have any issues with the music, don't let it hold you back. Just go ahead and lie down. And you're going to just start to let your body relax. Make sure you don't have a pillow under your head. You want to make sure your throat is nice and open. And you're going to start to take a couple of deep breaths through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. Deep inhale through your nose. Exhale out your mouth. If you're having any technical issues, I would just suggest laying down. Don't worry about the music. And just allow yourself to really get connected to your body. And we're going to start the breathing pattern. So you're going to be breathing in and out of your mouth. And it's a 2-part inhale. So you can start by placing your hand on your low belly and your other hand right over your heart center. And you're going to breathe like this. So into your belly once, into your heart for the second inhale, and exhale. Belly, heart, exhale. So in and out of the mouth, you're not breathing through your nose at all. You're going to breathe into your low belly, into your heart, and exhale. Into your belly, into your heart, and exhale. So you're going to breathe just like this, in and out of your mouth. Belly, inhale again into your heart. Exhale. Inhale into your belly, again into your heart, and exhale. So you might start feeling a little lightheaded right away. That's totally normal. You're just going to keep on breathing and just allow yourself to release your mind. Focus completely on your breath. You can tell yourself that you're safe. If any of the emotions or the sensations in your body feel a little strange or kind of are freaking you out, just I'm safe in my body, and just keep on breathing. So you're going to allow your breath to move in this nice circular rhythm. So you're not stopping at the bottom or the top of the inhale. You're just letting it flow in and out into your belly and then into your heart, and then exhaling, and then right back into your belly, into your heart, and exhaling. So breathing into the belly, we're stirring up any of that stuck emotion from a lifetime of pain, all the way from that core wound up to the present moment. We're going to breathe into the heart, opening up that energetic heart center, giving that pain up to love, and then just letting go on the exhale, relaxing your body completely, but keeping the breath active on the inhale. And just let the exhale be a letting go. You don't need to push the breath out of your body. Just a nice, gentle exhale. And just notice how your body's feeling right now. If you're feeling fidgety, if you're yawning a lot, if you're really, feeling some resistance coming up, showing up in any way. And just let that be okay. All you're committed to right now is breathing. No matter what's happening, you're just going to keep on breathing. You're going to keep allowing for whatever needs to show up to show up. And I'm going to set the intention for each one of you to release now whatever is not serving you, to trust and embrace this process, and to allow yourself to connect to the love and wisdom within you. Your only job is to breathe. That's all you need to do. And if any emotions are already surfacing for you, if you feel some tears coming up, some sadness, just allow it to release. Let it wash over you. Don't push anything back down. This is about embracing, allowing, releasing. You're doing great. Just keep on breathing. It might feel a little strange. You might be starting to feel some energy moving. So you might feel some tingly sensations in your hands, your palms, and your fingertips. And just keep on allowing. This energy is always moving. We just can't always feel it. So we're getting connected to the body by breathing through the mouth. And probably by now, some of you have some endorphins going. The mind is going to start to release a little bit more. And just keep on breathing right like that. If your mind's really active right now, if it's telling you any stories about this being difficult, just let the mind go. Focus on your breath. Don't give it very much weight. You're just going to keep on breathing. You can start to feel into the right side of your body as you're breathing. And just notice if you feel any pain, discomfort, maybe blockage. Mm-hmm. And you can say to yourself or out loud, Dad, I release you from my body. And Dad, I release your pain from my body. And just be with whatever comes up. Breathing in. On your exhale, imagining that pain, any of that pain from your dad that you took on. Imagine it draining out of the right side of your body, releasing it to the earth. Good. And now bringing your awareness to the left side of your body, noticing any blockages, any pain, any physical discomfort in the left side of your body. Continuing to breathe. And you can say, Mom, I release you out of my body. Mom, I release your pain out of my body. And just embracing whatever comes up, feeling it. Good. Keep on breathing. You're doing great. And just imagining any of that pain that you've taken on from your mom, just releasing with your exhale out of the left side of your body, allowing the earth to soak it up. And some of you might be feeling some tightness around your mouth or in your hands, and that's totally normal. If there's any fear running through your body around your experience, again, say to yourself, I'm safe in my body. Allow your body to relax. When you're done breathing, those sensations will go away. Keep on breathing. And if you're feeling really like there's a lot of stuck energy in your body, you can put your hands over your mouth and let out a big yell. So take a deep breath in, fill your lungs all the way up, and let out a big yell. Let yourself release anything that you're holding on to that feels stuck. And go ahead and push it all out. When you're done, you can just bring yourself right back to your breath. We're almost there. You're doing great. And just go ahead and start to tune into your body and notice. You can ask yourself, where am I holding on to pain? Right? If anything's coming up, just feel that place in your body. It might be deep sadness, it might be anger. And breathe into that place and send love there. Allow yourself to feel it. Keep on breathing. Give yourself love. You can start to breathe a little more deeply into your heart on that second inhale. And just imagine that you have this caking around your heart, this shell. It's all that pain, the limitation, holding you back from giving and receiving love. With every inhale into your heart, you're cracking that shell a little more. And through those cracks, your love's leaking out. You breathe more, and the cracks get bigger, and there's more of them until eventually that entire shell crumbles to dust. You feel your heart expanding. Imagine that love within the center of your chest. Imagine it growing, moving down your arms, out your fingertips. You can say out loud, I deserve love. I have a lot of love to give. and I have something to say. It's safe for me to be seen, and it's safe for me to be heard. Couple more breaths. And again, any emotions coming up, sadness, let it come up and out. Let it wash right over you. Keep giving yourself love. Wherever you feel tightness or tension in your body, notice how you keep on breathing. If you feel any area of pain, whether it's physical or emotional, you're going to keep on giving yourself love. Couple more breaths. You're doing great. And if on your end, there's a lot of energy moving and it feels really intense, you can start to just gently breathe through your nose. But I only suggest that if it feels overwhelming or painful, physically painful. Otherwise, keep on breathing. Just going to breathe for a couple more minutes. Keep on embracing everything that's showing up. Give yourself love. Open your heart. You can say out loud, I'm ready to release this pain. I'm ready to love myself. I accept who I am. I accept my gifts. I choose love. You can go ahead and start to gently breathe through your nose. If that feels comfortable, but just release the breath. And just let your body begin to relax. Let all of your muscles start to just completely let go. Can you even imagine yourself just kind of floating away, releasing your body? Keep on letting go. It's your only job right now. You can go ahead and shake your hands out. Shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them. Feel that energy in your hands. And go ahead and place your hands anywhere you feel like you need a little healing on your body. Remembering that you are your own healer. Give yourself some love. Just a couple more minutes of just really letting go. You can go ahead and start to deepen your inhale through your nose. Let out a sigh. Deepen your inhale through your nose. Can start to bring some connection to your body. Moving your fingers and toes, your wrists and ankles. And if you can go ahead and roll over to your right side. Give yourself a big squeeze. Wrap your arms around yourself. Give some love to yourself. Thank yourself for showing up. And go ahead and start to flutter your eyes open, reconnect to your space. And you're going to slowly come back and maybe turn your video on. We'll have an opportunity for sharing or questions. Okay, people are starting to pop back in. You might be feeling a little out of it. Kind of in an altered state. So if you have water nearby, you can drink a little water. But, we're approaching the end of our time. I'm going to stay on longer because of the technical issues. So I want to allow for, questions and sharing. So if you do need to go, if you have, other obligations, I understand. That's fine. But I want to just allow for if anybody wants to share your experience, because a lot of times breathwork is really powerful and a lot of things can come up, so you're welcome to share anything. Try to be somewhat brief, don't go into crazy details like speaking for 5 to 10 minutes, but whatever it is you want to say and be witnessed, you're welcome to come on. And then if you have any questions also about the anything that I addressed in terms of the steps to self-love, you're welcome to ask anything around that too. And if anything seemed unclear because of the glitching and stuff as well, you're welcome. So we'll just do kind of raise your hand if you want to share anything, and I'll call in whoever I see and then I'll unmute you. Tyra, okay, you are unmuted. Wait.
Thank you. That was pretty intense for me. It was really great though. I could feel the release. My question is around that it was really, really tingly in my hands. And even afterwards, like I felt it kind of like, when your foot goes to sleep, that numbness, but really tingly, but I could feel a lot of energy. What causes that?
It's the breath. The breath is what's moving the energy system and the energy flow in your body. So the first place we usually feel our energy moving is our hands. And you can even start to kind of work with this. Like right now, I can tune in and I can feel the energy moving in my palms and my fingertips, and I haven't really breathed at all. So when you're breathing, it gets more and more intense in the hands. As you continue with like longer sessions, like in my private sessions are a bit longer and they kind of allow you to go deeper, your whole body, that energy actually starts to move through your whole body. So your whole body will eventually become really tingly. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Thank you. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
I think that's it. I'm just kind of processing or integrating it.
Yeah. For sure. Thank you. Anybody else? And keep your hand up because I can't see. Well, let me switch actually. Yeah. Okay, good. Wendy, so you are unmuted.
I think the concept of self-love is not something most people are used to. And even just trying to implement it for yourself is at first a bit foreign. So thanks for walking us through that. It was good.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. We're not really oriented to think about self-love, which is also part of why I named this class, around true happiness, because that's something that is kind of more the cultural vocabulary of, being happy. Everyone's really interested in that, but this is really the root. So just starting to work with some of those takeaway tips that I gave you, and I'm going to give you a little bit of stuff that you guys will be able to use on your own moving forward to start to work with this. Any other questions or sharing? Okay, I'll do Bill and then Lianka. So Bill, you're unmuted.
I think the idea that this is already in us, that it's not the pot at the end of the rainbow that we have to go searching for. And somehow the phrase working on yourself doesn't work comes to mind, because we think of all of this as, I've really got to work on myself. I got work to do on myself. And what you're saying is just that there is an acceptance and being in the moment, and that's it. That it's not, we're not digging a ditch.
Yeah. Thank you I love that. Working on yourself isn't working. Yeah, it's really true. Of course, some of this is, I don't want to say a contradiction. What I'm teaching today is what I would say is fundamental. It's something to consistently remember and integrate. It's really the foundation. It's what I've gone back to over and over again. And I'm still always doing other things, to work on myself and learn and things like that. But fundamentally, I know that I'm whole as I am right now. And so there's just kind of like that interplay of, like I was saying earlier, it's like living on that tightrope between self-acceptance, knowing who you truly are. And I'm like totally cool if, nothing else really happens. I'm already good with myself. But then I'm also always interested in growing, because there's always blind spots and things that we're not willing to see. But fundamentally, the deeper underlying spiritual truth is that the wholeness is there within us. And I think part of the reason why I'm focusing on that more than anything is because that's the thing that is probably most challenging for us to understand with our minds and to really grapple with. It's much easier to sign up for, different courses and lessons and learnings and things like that. And kind of, we're go-getters and we want to strive and do things. So it's a little bit easier to live in that space. But when we're living in that space, it's really easy to constantly be on a hamster wheel. So thank you, Bill. Lianka, you were next. So I have unmuted you. You're good.
Thank you. This was only my second time doing breath work, and was definitely intense. I felt a lot of release. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. But yeah, it was amazing. I think out of all the things that I've tried and all the things I've been working on, this is definitely probably the most intense and the one that I felt most results from in such a short amount of time. It's incredible. It's really amazing work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lianka. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know my story, I'm not going to get into the full thing now, but breathwork dramatically changed my life, which is why I kind of had all these series of synchronistic events that led me to become a teacher. I didn't have an idea of like, I'm going to be a breathwork teacher. This seems like a great idea. Breathwork came into my life. It changed my life. It taught me, that I didn't really love myself, what that really means. So, for those of you who this is your first time today, there's a lot of it is about feeling pain and releasing it. And so feeling is healing. Feeling into our pain and walking through that fire is how we get to the place of accessing our wholeness. So we have this big idea, and this is why step 3 is feeling your pain. We have this big idea that like we don't feel the pain, or we're just naturally oriented to kind of push it away. But breath work is a really beautiful tool for, I almost think of it as like you're kind of cocooned in love, because there is this ability to be with really, really painful things, feelings and experiences that feels unbearable when we're not in that state. And so working with the breath and continuing to do that, you're going to release more and more and become more connected to that deeper part of you. So every time is different. It's all part of the healing process. Does anybody else want to share anything or ask a question? Okay, Tim, you're unmuted.
Unmuted there. Okay. When I've been doing some breath work with the yoga teacher, it's been more rhythmic and through the nose as opposed to this. And getting back to this was really, the word that comes to mind was transcend. You know, all this stuff in my head and all these thoughts are clear and it's neutral, you know, what you're talking about with the acceptance. So that in itself, when I first got on and said I wanted to simplify and get grounded today, I could feel my feet on the ground again. And it's just a total shift. And this one healing art, this Japanese, it's Jinshin Jiitsu, they say pain is stagnant energy. So if I get my energy moving and practice this breath work, I mean, it's an amazing tool. I mean, it is amazing, the feeling I have in my hands. It's so intense. I had to actually kind of get up and kind of, I felt dizzy from it. But I think it's great what you do, and I appreciate it, and thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Okay, anybody else? Okay. So, moving forward, so, you know, I really like to give people who sign up for my workshops, you know, little things to do ongoingly. And so in, you know, the slideshow portion, you know, there were little takeaway tips that you probably wrote down. So you're going to work with those. But I have 3 things for you that, and some of these are kind of overlapping, but things to continue working with over the next month. And I'm actually going to follow up with you guys probably in about 2 weeks from now, just to kind of hold you accountable, which can be helpful. But, you know, these things, they don't really mean anything until you start using them and applying them in your life and really, you know, starting to work with what it really means to love yourself for yourself. So one of the biggest things I would recommend doing is continuing with the breath work on your own. So you can do as little as 10 minutes a day. You're not going to necessarily have, you know, big breakthroughs like longer sessions. I am available for private sessions, and I'm more than happy to do to set something like that up with you if you really want to move through some of the deeper blockages. But just starting to work with your breath for 10 minutes a day is going to start to get your energy moving. You know, we're really starting to work with the energy system in the body, which helps us release some of the blockages and the pain that we've been holding on to, like Tim was saying, the stagnant energy. And you will also notice that your experiences vary on a day-to-day basis. Some days you might actually start sobbing right away and release a lot and not even realize you needed to. And the next day you might be feeling, you know, kind of deep states of bliss or joy. So just start to work with the breath a little bit more. You can put, I have a playlist. I think you have guys, I sent you guys the link. It's my music playlist on Spotify, which you're welcome to use if you need access to that. If you don't have the email anymore, it's on my website at the bottom, the very, very bottom of any of the pages. It says music. You can click on that, or you can just use your own music. So put 2 to 3 songs on that you really enjoy, breathe to that, and then just relax for a song. The other thing is to commit to focus on just to noticing your story. So anytime a story or a judgment comes up, just recognize what it is. Recognize that it's a story. Recognize that it's judgment, that it's not you. It's not that deeper part of you, that wholeness, that fullness that I've been speaking about. It's your mind. It's this habituation. It's the part of you that's feeding into, the story. It's coming from that wound from when you were young. So when you're noticing it, we can't really learn to accept ourselves if we're not conscious of the things we're not accepting. So it's about being mindful and training ourselves to see, what am I not accepting? What am I not embracing? And so there's some things that are really obvious that you already know. And I guarantee you there's a ton more that have been so deeply ingrained in you, and you've been doing it for so long that you are not even really aware that you're doing it. Whenever I take periods of time where I'm being super conscious about something like my negative thinking or whatever, I'm always shocked because I feel like I've done so much work in that area. And then, I'm like, oh, I'm still thinking these things, or I'm still, habituated to think negatively. So really just start to focus on that. When you acknowledge that this is not really who I am, then you can choose to give yourself love. And that's part of the working with acceptance. And then finally, start writing your new story. So, how do you want to view life? A big part of this is flipping the script. So it's about the way in which you choose to see life. Is it simple? Is it hard? Am I living from scarcity? Am I living from abundance? Am I living from fear? Am I living from love? So I'll also email you guys to check in. Just one final, does anybody have any questions or comments? You can raise your hand. I'll just leave another moment of space. Okay, Katrin, you're unmuted.
Oh, how would you answer the question fixing yourself with self-help and everything that's going on now? How do you relate with that?
I would, if you're thinking that to yourself, or are you just asking me that question?
Just asking, how would you, what's your perspective on it, basically?
I mean, I think that's the acceptance piece. Fundamentally, nothing needs fixing. Fundamentally, you're whole as you are already. When you connect to that wholeness, then you're no longer fragmented. When you're connected, this is the rewriting the story. When you're connected to the belief that I need to be fixed, there's something wrong with me, then you're going to be always fighting to find something about you that's wrong that needs to be fixed. Instead, if you just acknowledge, I'm whole and complete as I am, which a big part of this is the experiential component through breath work. So if you keep working with the breath or do longer sessions, you'll start to have some deeper experiences of that fullness and wholeness, and really experience who it is you truly are. That is a big part of it. And so when you actually experience, oh, I'm actually totally full, it starts to poke holes in those stories that we've been taught that there's something wrong, there's a problem. You're welcome. Anybody else? Okay, well, I want to thank each and every one of you who is viewing live, who's been participating today. Thank you so much. Big apologies for the tech issues. I really hope it wasn't too disruptive. I have to go back and watch the video and make sure, but that actually hasn't happened before. So I'm sorry for that. Hopefully still you guys got everything that you needed today. If you have any questions at any time about, struggling with this process, feel free to email me. I'm totally happy to answer any questions. And I'll be following up with you guys in a couple weeks too to see how you're doing. So I'm going to just unmute everybody so everybody can just say goodbye. Okay, bye. You're unmuted.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.